So, using the abstraction is very easy for the end developer. The schema controls the XML file. That's all that's required to use the abstraction. Basically, everything defined in the schema will strictly control how the abstraction can be used, and it on purpose limits the level of freedom from the developer, strictly controlling the development and the design. So in this architecture we have the button as representing the user interface, and a command that's required to be defined in the button in our architecture. So we add a button for opening a Twitter in a browser, and we also add one event to warn the user about Twitter add-in when the new presentation is created. So we start entering new elements to the XML. The schema strictly controls it, and the intellisense in the schema guides us as a developer to use the proper elements and proper attributes and, and their values when designing the software. So here we define the command on click. We label the button. Open Twitter. We name it. The name is mandatory for all the elements. It's mostly used for everything in code generating to identify the elements as unique. So it's not visible almost anywhere else except in the code. Then we have the example of Office gallery icon. Only option is happy face, and the size will be large. These drop-down elements are the standard features of XML schema. And we add also a design documentation here. Open Twitter when clicked. Now when we save this file, we notice that the schema has an error. The error is not very clear, but it's caused by the missing command for the command on click name. So we make new command here, and intellisense guides us when creating the command. Let's do it again. Oops, and we have actually outdated documentation in our design documentation. Let's fix it right away. So our annotation is not up to date on this documentation. So we open up the schema. And fix the developer documentation right away when we spot an error. So here we have the commands, single command defined in the add-in, commands can be activated through command bars, menus, and so on. To do, not currently supported in generation, usable at design level only, not fully designed. This is not correct. These actually work now, so we simply update the design level documentation, save the schema, go back to the Visual Studio, and start entering the command again. And there, the design level documentation guiding the developer is instantly updated with the same check-in as we do check-in the schema modification. So we add the command. There we go. Then we run the abstraction generators and build the solution. Now there is one one trick here to remember. Once we click on the compiler error that the generator generated, it opens the file actually on the wrong project. So the files on the abstraction project are not meant to be compiled. They are supposed to be opened on the actual using project. So here a resharper is now much better on the ball, and when we let the resharper generate a missing method, we get to write the implementation right here. Open default browser. There we go. Then now we build the solution. Works fine. Start debugging. Starts our PowerPoint. And there we have our button, which opens the Twitter just fine. Now we add also the event for the new presentation warning. We go back to the XML file. Same thing here. Events do not require the commands here. We have the event implementation right on the event. One for Twitter or new. The event name must be unique, so we cannot use the same name, although we are going to use different event. These events are entered in the schema enumeration with exact MSD and documentation right copy pasted also, so no need to go look elsewhere. Of the new presentation, and design documentation warns the user for the Twitter when new presentation is created. There we go. Transform all the templates. Build. Get an error. Now we already have the file open, so Visual Studio understands to open the same buffer. Same here. We'll let the method to be created and write the implementation there. One for Twitter. Build again. Start debugging. And we get the error just as supposed to be. We have to know nothing about registering the events on the PowerPoint itself, or some caveats that on the managed side, if we do not hold the instance of the event on the managed side, the garbage collector will collect it if we only register it through the interrupt to the COM. That's all for using the abstraction.